Hi everyone, welcome to week 1 where we will be covering voice fundamentals. So today we're just going to go over some basics, and I know most of you already know all of these topics, but for me, I think going back to basics is always a great idea. I enjoy doing it. Sometimes doing a little check-in is really useful, and maybe you haven't sung very much lately and this will be really useful to you. Maybe it'll even be new information, so that would be really cool. So we're going to cover breath, resonance, and airflow, and we'll do a few exercises with each kind of idea and subject. So just remembering everybody's bodies and voices are different, so something that works for me or feels great in my voice might not work for you and feel the same in your voice, and that's okay. That doesn't mean it's wrong. So every time I say try it, feel free to press pause in the video and give it a try. So I like to ask a lot of the times, how did that feel for you if you're in a lesson? The reason I ask that is because everyone's body is different and it will feel a little bit different for you than it will for me. But also, when we're singing and we are alone, we aren't very good at listening to our sound and then making a great assessment based off of that. And what I mean by that is if you've ever left or created a voicemail, the tone, blah, 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 and you listen back to it and you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I sound like. Like that's how I discovered I sound like I'm 12 years old. When I'm singing and I'm alone, I can't listen to my voice and make adjustments that way. Instead, I go, how does this feel? Ooh, this feels really free. I like this. Oh, I feel like my air is moving. I feel like I have a lot of tension today, like in my chest. Why? Checking in on how does it feel is a really great tool. Does anything feel easy, great, good? Do things feel tight, tense, stuck, back, painful? Just checking in. If it's a negative feeling, that's your body telling you you've done something that's not the best option for you. If it's a great feeling, awesome, keep it going. We like good feelings. If anything comes up for you and you go make a discovery and you go, oh cool, this felt like this, I wonder why, write it down and ask me in our Zoom session. Okay, so our first topic is breath. I'm sure you already all know about breath. When we breathe in, what happens? What part of our body expands? We need to be taking these nice low breaths. So on our inhalation, we breathe in and we're gonna feel that there's some expansion in our bellies, as well as if you can find your bottom ribs, right? So they connect here, they go all the way down. See if you can place your hands on either side where your bottom ribs are. You might need to do a little tip over to find them. Now take in a breath. What do you feel happening? For me, I feel that my ribs are expanding and lightly pushing against my hands on the way out. What I like about having this hand position here is because my fingers can feel the front part where my ab muscles are. This part of my hand, I don't know what this is called. The crook of my hand, I don't know. This part of my hand can feel my ribs expand out to the side. And if I take my thumbs and kind of dig them into the back, I can feel some back expansion as well. So there's a couple ways you can try this out. So sitting up tall, that means really sitting in alignment so that the base of your spine to the top of your head is in alignment so that you can take these great breaths. Or try standing. So if we're standing, we're gonna have our feet slightly, shoulder width apart. I'm right-handed, so I like to put my right foot slightly in front of the other. It makes me feel a little bit more secure while I'm standing. We are gonna try our breath in one moment, but let's just look at posture for a second. Okay, so I'm standing up tall. Where do we want the weight to be? So if I put all the weight into the balls of my feet, you can feel that you feel like you're about to tip over, right? And so to not tip over, you're really engaging your muscles to keep yourself upright. Well, all of a sudden, I have a body that's full of tension. So now I'm taking my weight into the back of my heels, and then same thing, right? We're really tight and tense to make sure we're staying upright. So now adjust it so your weight is over the arches of your feet. Okay, so our weight's over the arches of our feet. Now I'm gonna take my legs and I'm gonna lock them. I'm gonna squeeze them and I'm gonna lock those knees. Now, as I'm squeezing right now, we don't wanna have tight legs and locked knees. So all you're gonna do is just release. There. Great straight legs, but they're relaxed. The reason I like to do this is because sometimes people are so concerned about having relaxed legs and relaxed knees that they bend a lot. You'll see this kind of like squat singing. But again, as we all know, when you do your squats, your muscles are engaged, they're tight, they're working, and I have a bit of tension in my body. So for you, everybody's different, but see what feels good for you. Where does it feel good to have your weight in terms of over your feet? How does it feel to try these straight legs and squeeze and then relax? For me, it feels really good. See where that lands for you. Then I'm gonna take my hips. Find where your hips are. See if you can imagine if they are in a straight line, over your knees, which your knees then are over the center of your feet. So you are creating this really nice line. And then if you imagine the top of your head, right? We want the top of our head and the base of our spine, our tailbone, to also be in alignment. So if I'm scooching out this way, I've made this really big curve in my back. Not the best idea for my breath, because I go to breathe in, I can only breathe into the front of my body. My back is really, really tense. So tucking the tail in a little bit so that you're in alignment. All of a sudden I have access to like 360 degrees of breath. And that's what we want to try to get today. So finding some sort of body posture in what I just went over that feels comfortable for you and your body. So we're in alignment, we're standing tall, taking your hand and placing it on your belly. Breathing in and out. You feel expansion. Taking your hands and putting it on the sides of your ribs here, where you can try feeling the front of your body, the side, and your back. And if that does not work for you, just feel the side of your body and breathing in. Feeling that ribs expansion out to the side. And then you can take your hands and put them right, here's where my ribs end. I'm putting them right below that. So I'm going to take in a breath and see if I can feel any expansion into my back. I do, and it feels good. Now, a lot of people find it's difficult to feel that expansion in the back there. So try tipping forward. Okay, so if I tip forward, I can really feel my back expanding. So if you can feel it while tipped forward, slowly come up. Try the breath here, feel it, good. Come up, try the breath here, feel it, good. So this would be a great opportunity to press pause on the video and see how this feels for you. Try out this body posture, try out this breath. Can you feel this 360 degree expansion where your breath is moving in your body? Cool, so you've tried that out and you figured out what feels good, what doesn't feel good. Maybe you've made a different discovery. Now, let's talk about our chest, our shoulders, our neck muscles. If you have a mirror close by, it might be really handy to do this in front of the mirror. Checking that on your inhalation, yes, our chest will expand a bit. It's how our bodies work. But we want to see if we can keep all of these muscles in our neck relaxed. So if you're taking in a breath, see how this is really tight, how they engage. All of a sudden, when I go to sing, our vocal cords are in our throats. You have taken in this really tight inhalation. I go to sing, I'm already so tense. So see if on the inhalation, you can keep these neck muscles really relaxed. But there's a cool thing. If you take in an audible breath, this is engaged, right? If you take in a quiet breath, this can be relaxed. So try that. You can try breathing in through your nose. You can try breathing in through your mouth. I personally prefer breathing in through my mouth. Some people prefer their nose. Going, ooh, is this relaxed? Do I feel totally neutral in my inhalation? Now, here's one of my favorite breath exercises to try. All we're doing is we're gonna breathe in, and on our exhale, we'll exhale a sh, an SH sound, okay? So I breathe in, I expand, shh. And I'll do that sh sound until I have no more air left. When you actually get rid of all of your air and have no more air left and go to breathe, for most people and most bodies, you'll find that the breath drops and goes right into where it needs to. So if I do that example, I'm going to take in a breath, a quiet breath. It feels right into my belly right away. So this is a great place to pause, try it, just do a few cycles of this and notice how your breath is working for you. You get rid of all of your air, your body naturally knows how to take in the air. If you're doing this tension-free, it feels really good. So what happens is, as singers, we sometimes think we have to tank up for everything, no matter how long the phrase is, right? We're going, okay, I'm gonna go sing, I'm gonna take in as much air as I possibly need, and here we go. My phrase is actually only 2 beats long. Oh! I have so much air left over. When you don't get rid of all of your air, you've put tension into your body. So, if you just take in a breath and hold it, keep holding it. Feel how icky that feels? It feels like the muscles are a bit tense. You can feel that holding. It doesn't feel great. So release it. Start breathing naturally again. That feels so much better. My favorite exercise to do for breath is about pacing. So you've just done the breathe in and exhale shh until you're out of your air, and then you breathe in and go again. That's great. You're getting this natural rhythm and natural cycle going. So this is what I like to do. I like to breathe in, exhale shh for 4 beats, breathe in, exhale shh for 5 beats, and keep going until I have no more breath left. Maybe I'll get to 12 beats, maybe I'll get further. Then I work my way down. So say I got to 12 beats. Then I'm gonna breathe in and exhale shh for 11, breathe in, exhale shh for 10, breathe in, exhale shh for 9, and I keep going. I can get all the way to 2 and 1. So if I'm breathing in and exhaling for 2 beats only, I don't need a lot of breath. I need a very small amount of air to do that exhalation, right? Let's try it. So for 2 beats, I'm gonna breathe in, then breathe out for 2. So I go shh, shh, shh. If I breathe in too much, shh, shh, you'll find that you get to this point where you feel like you're gonna explode because you have too much air inside of you. Try it for 1 beat. So you're gonna breathe in and exhale for 1 beat only. So you breathe in, shh, 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 shh. Keep going. Notice you need just the smidge, the tiniest little bit of air on that inhalation. Shh, 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 right? You don't need a lot. So sometimes when you're singing, you actually have to know how long the phrase is to know how much air you need. And sometimes we don't think about that. But if we start to think about that, we'll be taking in the appropriate amount of air needed for that phrase and ideally keep our bodies tension-free. Now we will be talking about resonance. Okay, where do we feel our voices vibrate in our bodies? We have so many different places where this can happen. Resonance gives us that beautiful sound. It can give you a forward sound, a dark sound, a light sound, a bright sound, a nasally sound if I'm really resonating in my nasal passage only, and that's not very balanced and not my choice in sound to create. Maybe unless I'm doing like a character voice or doing like a voiceover in a cartoon land, I might go into my nasal sound. But we don't usually want to do that. So female and male voices work a bit differently. Male voices are chest dominant, female voices are head dominant. However, we both have chest and head voices and we both use them while singing. So this probably isn't new information to you, but let's feel it out. So we're gonna take your hands and put it on our chests. And in the low voice that you can create, mine's not very low, try some slides around the low register in your voice and feel those vibrations happening in your chest. Try it on an ah and an o. And see how that feels for you. Okay, then once you've tried that out a little bit, you're gonna take your hand and you put it on the very top of your head. And on an oo vowel, we'll say, woo! There's a few different hand placements you can do to see if you can feel anything. Remember, everybody is different. So, put the hand on the top of the head. You might find it more accessible if you put two hands here, feeling fingers inside. Maybe you'll feel it more accessible if you put your hand in the back. Maybe one hand on the forehead. Singers look so cool, right? Oh my gosh. You can put your hands just on your forehead, on your cheek, basically anything that's lips, upper lip up. That's where we want to feel something. You might actually physically feel vibrations. You might get a sense that the inside of your head is almost rattling. So as I do these head exercises, play around with hand placement and pause the video, try it, see if you can discover any vibrations or sensations. So on an oo vowel, I really feel it hit the roof of my mouth and it's like in behind my nose and my eyeballs, and I feel it's almost like it's like rattling my brain. That sounds really healthy. So we have our chest voice and we have our head voice. Now, if you think of a little kid, for example, they usually kind of like speak, shout, sing. They go la 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 la, and then they go really hurry up here, la la la, right? They have like these two very distinctive voices. It's like almost two humans are coming out of one little tiny body. So we have our chest voice and we have our head voice, and what's difficult is merging them together so that they sound really balanced and seamless when we go from one to the next. And that kind of in-between zone is called your mixed voice, which you might have heard. I don't think the terms are really that important to know about. I think it's more important to feel it. So our goal is to slide from our chest voice to our head voice and our head voice to our chest voice seamlessly without any little hiccups or cracks. We want to see if we can keep it as smooth as possible, as seamless as possible, so nobody knows you're actually going from feeling it in the head to feeling it in the chest. Most people find it easiest going top to bottom, so let's try that. So we will pitch slide, starting in our head voices on an oo vowel, and we're going to take it into our chest voices on an ah vowel, and it sounds like this. Try it. So if you've just pressed pause and tried it out, make sure that you're actually going really up high in your voice and that you're sliding it all the way down into your chest voice. And you might feel a shift in resonance. You might feel a shift in vibration. So it might feel really strong in the head at first, and then when you take it down in the chest, you'll feel it more here. So when you're up higher, you might feel more head dominant. When you're lower, you might feel more chest dominant. Here we go. Try that one more time. So you're up nice and high. If that felt really good, try low to high. Going from an ah to an oo. Yeah, let's try that. If that felt trickier, if you're having this moment where your voice wants to do like a little hiccup, or it feels like it's breaking or cracking, that's where your voice is literally switching from being dominant in one to dominant in the other. So being dominant from chest to dominant in the head. In that moment, try to go as slowly as possible through that, we call it a passage point, through that passage point to see if you can figure out how to manage your way through it. So I'll, over example, say I go, oh, see how I missed a really big section in my voice? I just skipped over it. That's the tricky part of my voice where I need to work them. Oh, my body doesn't want me to do that part and it wants me to flip right away. Instead, I'm gonna go really slowly. And I work my way up like that. So if you're having any moments in the voice that feel like a hiccup, where you want to skip it entirely, try to go as slowly as you possibly can and see what that feels like for you. That's the part that you need to work on. So say you just did that and you're like, that felt pretty easy. So do your pitch slides, bottom to top, top to bottom, with all of your different vowels. Do your O's, do your Oo's, do your Ah's, do your E's. See if one feels easier than the other. That's really interesting. If one doesn't feel good, why? Ask yourself, ready for it? Da, 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 da. How does it feel? So does it feel tight? Does it feel stuck? Does it feel like it's stuck in your throat? Does it feel, does one vowel feel really good in your chest voice, but when you take it into your head voice, it doesn't? So just being aware of how does it feel for you? And then that's where you're at with those vowels. It's not a bad thing. It's just being aware. And then you know what we can work on moving forward. Okay, so those are your pitch slides to work on resonance. As you're singing a song this week, taking note, when I'm singing this song, where do I feel my voice resonating? This idea of coming back to basics is going, okay, how does my singing voice work? How does it function? And how does it feel for me? Maybe you haven't checked in with yourself in a while on how your singing voice feels for you. So this week is all about being aware. The third thing we'll be talking about today is airflow. Okay, so we as singers, we're just really good at breathing. Like that's really our goal, is to be really good breathers and really good at controlling the air that leaves our bodies. I kind of think that's mostly what singing is. Okay, so if you think about it, we're kind of like wind instruments, right? So a wind instrument, they send the air through the instrument and that's how it sounds. The air is the most important thing. The air creates the sound. Same with singing, right? So our most important job is to remember that air comes before sound. So this idea of onsets, the start of your singing, is really important. What we're going to do is we're going to say who, like who let the dogs out? Who. And feel the air in that H before the sound that follows in the word. Who. Air before sound. So we're going to sing 5 notes down. And we're going to send our air first and feel that. Who. Yeah? So you feel that air start. Pause that and try that a few times if you need to. But now we're going to take it without the consonant at the beginning, because the consonant's really helpful for us. Often we have words that start with vowels, right? So let's now just do an O vowel. 5 notes down again. Oh. What's my onset? I'm going to do 2 examples. 1. Oh. 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 In the throat. Oh. That's not starting with air, that's starting with my throat. That's my vocal cords doing that. Oh. 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 Mm-mm. Oh. Oh. So being mindful of our onset. Because if I don't start with my air and I've built in tension, if I start with tension, I'm gonna have it for the rest of the phrase. Then likely I create a tension in that phrase. When I go to breathe, I'm tense, I'm gonna breathe tensely. All of a sudden, it's the entire song that's really tense. So, on sets, we're gonna do 5 notes down, and I'll keep switching the vowels up, and I want you to think about the very first note. Is it with a little bit of air? Is it having that sound, which is also called a glottal stop if you've talked about that before ever? Oh, try that. Try it again. Switch to ah. Switch to ooh. Good. Try that again if you'd like. How did that feel? Did that feel really easy? Did you feel that airflow going? If you're going, this is really hard, I don't understand, try putting a little consonant in front of it just to help you get the airflow going. So you could put a little H in front of it just to get that feeling. Put a little H in front of my O. Little H in front of my ah. Don't go too much though, because it'll be too much airflow. Your vocal cords are like, I can't handle this. Too much tension is too much pressure. You've built some tension doing the exact opposite. Try some exercises and see how that feels. Whew. Okay, so we've talked about breath, resonance, and airflow. So keep asking yourself, how does this feel? Look in the mirror if you're comfortable doing so while singing. How does it look? Do I look tense? Do I look relaxed? Am I in alignment? Am I standing tall? If I'm sitting, am I sitting upright? That means not slouched. That means no crossed legs. That means not sitting on the backrest of the chair. How is my intake breath? Is it audible? Can I hear it? Is it quiet? Do I feel relaxed? Am I taking the appropriate amount of air in for the phrase? Is my voice vibrating? Do I feel it resonating? Where do I feel it? Is it in my chest down low? Is it in my head? Oh, is it feeling like it's stuck in my throat? Airflow. Am I starting with my air first? Am I leading with my air? Am I starting with tension, throat first, sound? Am I starting with too much air where I'm feeling it really push? Doing all these little check-ins as we do just a few exercises. So we're gonna do lip trills, 5 notes down. If these are difficult for you, take your fingers and gently push in. It just helps focus your air. Some people find that simpler. 5 notes down, very simple. We're gonna go. I love lip trills because they have to start from here to work. You have to keep your air flowing and going for them not to stop on you. And for me, I really feel it vibrating, yes, in my lips, but I feel it in my head voice. And when I'm low, I can feel it in my chest voice as well. I feel very resonant as I do this. Okay, enough talking. Is your breath in relaxed? Are you feeling a 360-degree expansion? As you get higher, do you feel it resonate in your head more than your chest? onset isn't working for you, air first from your core. One more. Now we'll take it down. Last one. Good. I'm gonna do one more exercise. Very simple again. It's just a triad. Will be ascending and descending. Thinking again about that breath in, that onset. Are we starting with our air and are we staying resonant the whole way through? Is my voice See how I did a little break from note 2 to 3? I stopped my voice, I stopped being resonant. So if you're finding it's hard to, just like in the pitch slide, if you're finding your voice wants to almost cut out, do a crack or a glitch or almost skip over a part of your voice entirely, slide slowly through it. Ooh, that's like resonant the whole way through. I like it. So let's try that on ahs to start. Keep the ah. Switch to O. Keep the slide. Oh. Do you feel resonance in your head more as you get higher? Can you? Is there tension in your throat? Let's switch to ooh. Ooh. Last one. Nice. I hope you learned something, or at least had a really nice little refresher and a good check-in on how does your voice feel today. I'll see you soon on Zoom.